Each year, the College of Veterinary Medicine at Kansas State University recognizes one of its countless successful graduates as the Alumni Fellow for the college. And the 2012 awardee is with us now. We'd like you to know her better. She got her doctorate in veterinary medicine in 1983 from Kansas State and now is in full practice in Littleton, Colorado. Her name is Dr. Sara Mark. Sara, congratulations, first of all, on this recognition. Your career path. First of all, you are a native Kansan.
Oh, yes, from Hutchinson originally.
So you came to Kansas State. Your bachelor's was in what?
It was a dual major in life science and physical science.
And then right into vet school?
Actually, I worked for Southwestern Bell Telephone Company as a long-distance operator for a while. I spent one illustrious semester working in the automotive department at the local Kmart. And then I was a state employee in the pathology department here for 2 years.
And then?
Then vet school.
From where then? Did you go directly to a practice in Colorado? What's the story there?
Yes, went to Denver and started working in a really large practice that had a huge boarding kennel along with it. So we boarded 180 dogs and 60 cats, and there were 3 full-time veterinarians. And no matter what the problem was, you had exactly 15 minutes to deal with it. So it really got my feet wet in a hurry.
And you stayed with that clinic for a long while?
For 2.5 years, and then spent another 2.5 years working at a different hospital, and then ended up buying the one that I have now.
Now, where you've really, and pardon the pun here, made your mark, in addition to your practice, is your community service, and more specifically the pet therapy that you've promoted, exercised, introduced folks to over the years. Spend a moment on that, if you would.
A long time ago, back in about 1985, I was asked to start screening dogs for a then very new program at the Children's Hospital in Denver. At that stage of the game, we really didn't have any kind of written protocol or anything else that went along with that. It was just a word of mouth, wow, do you have a nice dog you'd like to bring in to see the kids? And the veterinarians would sort of look the dog over and say, yeah, you look like you'd be good. And off they'd go. We'd do a couple of cultures on them and they'd be in the hospital. When we won an award from the Delta Society 2 years after that, I suddenly said, I think we need a written protocol if you're going to go to convention and present something. And that was really when we started having a much more formalized process and making enforceable sorts of policies and procedures that could be followed to protect the hospital from liability and also give all of our volunteers the guidance that they needed.
Really, the idea has expanded beyond therapy for children, has it not? For elderly, for just about anybody that can benefit from pet therapy.
Definitely. Even within our own program, we have expanded from just initially what was just a visitation sort of program where we just went in to make the kids and the staff and the families happy and went home, and we're doing much more directed therapy now within the hospital. I've also been lucky enough in Metro Denver to consult with a lot of other institutions to get their programs up and running, and I think it's important for anybody to know that there's no one way that fits any given facility. It's going to vary, but whether you're doing just visitation or whether you're actually doing prescribed directed therapy, you're making a huge impact.
We're told, illustrated that in an article that was eventually put into the book Chicken Soup for the Pet Lover's Soul about Darlene. And in the time we have, can you more or less summarize what that story was and its significance? As
usual, my dog Pokey and I were headed up to the hospital for our regularly scheduled visit, and part of the process is always checking in at the volunteer office to see if there's any patient in particular on the floor that you're assigned to that needs a visit, that the staff really knows we need to see. And they gave me a room number, and that was fine. Went upstairs. It happened to be on the oncology floor. Went in, beautiful 16-year-old girl sitting there in the bed. Asked if she wanted to see the dog. Oh yeah, can she sit with me? Put her up on the bed. And this dog was always friendly with everybody, but in this case, she snuggled right in underneath her arm and laid her head on her shoulder and proceeded to just stare at this girl's face, transfixed. And the girl just started whispering to her. And I thought, okay, they're doing their work that they need to do. And I sat and watched TV for 30 minutes and didn't think a thing of it. And out of the blue, she says, well, I know you have other kids you need to go see, but thanks, you'll never know how much this meant. So we left. And when I got downstairs, I said, okay, what's the deal? How come you told us to go to that room? They said, she has leukemia and just found out that she has failed her 3rd round of chemotherapy, and there's nothing else they can do for her. and so her death is imminent. And I got a call a few weeks later from the volunteer director, and she said, I just wanted to let you know that Pokey's friend Darlene went to heaven today. And later when I thought about it, I just thought, you know what, she couldn't tell her parents or her friends or her caregivers any of her inner fears or anything else, but she could tell that dog. And she could actually unload all of those burdens that she had and know that they weren't ever going to be betrayed to anyone else. I think that a lot of people with pets do that. And when they published the book, they used a really lovely quote from Paul Tillich, and it just says, you know, the first duty of love is to listen. And that's what she did for her.
And that's what has made this whole endeavor rewarding for you.
Oh, yeah. And people see, all of our volunteers tell us about the miracles they see every single day they are up there. And so it's just wonderful to know that we continue to do all those good things.
Sara, visit a bit in closing here about this recognition as the Alumni Fellow. What does this mean to you as somebody out there in the field?
I mean, it's absolutely amazing. For starters, when you look at the people who have received this honor over the last few years, which I did, of course, as soon as the dean asked me, and was like, oh man, I'm in so much trouble here because these people are experts in incredible things. And who the heck am I? I just get up and go to work every day. And so I think that it's really nice that the college recognizes the fact that there are lots and lots of their graduates that are out there every day going through their paces and hopefully having as good a time as I do at work every day. I feel like I get to solve puzzles all the time, and it's I learn something new every single day, and it's an honor to be here and an honor to be able to be in this profession.
Well, you're extraordinarily deserving, and congratulations to you for this recognition.
Thank you.
She is the 2012 Alumni Fellow for the College of Veterinary Medicine at Kansas State University. From Littleton, Colorado, Dr. Sara Mark.